Copenhagen is best case scenario for bicycles. They've properly integrated bicycles into the transportation fabric.
I think one of the main things is the separated bike lanes because it makes people feel safer.
But everywhere you go, you have a sense of a very humane and human city.
And the people here, it's just part of their daily lives to cycle, and I just find that so amazing.
The fact that there are around about 100 people here from North America, from the US and Canada, I think is cause for optimism, because I think one of the things we've lacked in the US is the real belief that this stuff actually works. We've been sort of making it up and saying Copenhagen's like this, but until you really see it and touch it and feel it for yourself and you ride the streets of Copenhagen during rush hour, it's really hard to believe.
They have created a system where every single road works for bicycling. Some of them are quiet streets where you just ride right on the street. Some of them they have painted bike lanes, but more often they have cycle tracks, which are these elevated bike paths. It's only 2 or 3 inches of elevation with a little bit of curb and some asphalt filled in, but the difference that it makes is really profound.
They've really made safe facilities, comfortable facilities, facilities that are welcoming for people of all skill levels. What you do have is a lot of cargo bikes that are often moving slower. You've got a mom or dad pedaling 1, 2, sometimes 3. I've seen children in the cargo bikes, and that slow speed is not only accommodated, but it's almost celebrated.
A lot of times in the US, when you're riding your bike, you feel almost like an outlaw. You feel like, oh, can I just find a little tiny bit of space for myself? Here, you feel like they're just laying out the red carpet for you.
In American cities, when you come to a really busy street, that's when you really tense up and you wonder, can I get across this street? When you come to a busy street in Copenhagen, you say, oh good, I know I'm going to find a cycle track here and it's going to be a quick route and I'm going to be where I need to be in 5 minutes. I mean, what a difference from just about any place else that I've been.
I love the counters on the side of the road. It makes you feel like you should be on the road, that it's okay to be here. You don't feel like anyone's going to tell you to get out of the way.
We are here standing in Copenhagen at Nørrebrogade, and Nørrebrogade is the busiest street for cycling in Copenhagen. Last year we put this machine up. There's now 36,000 cyclists per day in this street.
To stand and see a couple of hundred cyclists go through an intersection and then realize that just a block away there's another 100 come in and it's a phenomenal experience.
We went by the counter last night and I was cyclist 10,361. That is amazing. It just feels really empowering to know what's possible.
In Copenhagen, it's mainstream to go on a bicycle. It's everybody. It's all incomes, it's all age groups, it's both female, male. So that means the average cyclist is a pretty relaxed person.
I've heard from some of the Copenhageners that it's 55% women biking here in the city, which is really impressive, and it feels like that.
One of the main things is the separated bike lanes because it makes people feel safer, and the slow speeds of cars also makes people feel safer with their kids. You see just like these buckets of kids.
The cargo bikes, your child's in the front with you. You can put your groceries in there. You can just totally utilitarian, everyday kind of stuff. Why wouldn't you ride? Why wouldn't women and children ride here? It just seems so practical and so obvious.
You see these women wearing skirts and dresses and high heels and just pedaling around. They obviously feel comfortable taking their kids on bicycles.
The one thing that I've noticed here are a lot of really little bikes, and they're like 4-year-old kids, and they ride a straight line and they're super on it, and they ride better than most American adults.
The kids have training at schools in the 3rd year, 3rd grade. And again in the 9th grade, and they have to do proficiency tests on the bike lane signaling and all that stuff. My son, who's 8, he was riding on the bike lanes to kindergarten with me or to daycare when he was 3.5 with his training wheels, riding along. And it's just the way it is. You have to. It's a practical solution. The kids have to start riding so you can get around the city.
The drivers get tamed. Well, that's my expression. They get tamed. They look before crossing. Lots of intersections I've seen, a car wants to turn right and just sits there waiting while 4, 5, 6 bikes go by, and then when the coast is clear, then they make their right turn.
Drivers are so comfortable and familiar what to do around cyclists that even when you remove all the infrastructure in the sense that you're on a street without any bike infrastructure, you still feel very safe.
Yeah, there is sort of a driver education component, but the speeds are basically kind of what do it. I think that's what brings people down and people being accustomed to cyclists in general.
But you trust them on such a fantastic level, because that lady or that guy in the car, they have a bike at home, you know. They were on the bike lanes when they were 5 years old, 6 years old. So we understand each other, but we're all cyclists.
The more people ride, the more that motorists expect to see cyclists out there, the safer it becomes, you know, that there's safety in numbers.
It's just we've been brought up with this. I mean, I didn't think about all of this till I went to New York, for instance. That's when I really became aware of what we do here in Copenhagen, that biking is just part of our life.
I've never once had to lift up my bicycle. There's ramps at every stairwell. There's places to put your bicycle. It's lovely.
You know, one of the things that just is an incredible feeling of freedom here is to roll up to your apartment or a store or a restaurant. You slip the key into that simple little back tire lock, click it, pull the key out, and you walk away. No wrapping a chain around, you know, a tree or a pole. It makes even shorter bicycle trips more possible.
It's very impressive to see the special infrastructure, the special traffic treatments, the little tiny turn pockets, the traffic signalization. We have the green wave here, the signal timing that supports a continuous and comfortable bicycle movement.
For example, you would have a green wave adjusted for the speed of the bicycle instead of for the speed of the car. So we have, for example, a stretch where you can pass. If you travel with the 20 kilometers an hour, then you can pass, I think it's 14 traffic lights that will all be green for you.
Wherever they're doing construction, you know, road construction, they always drop down these temporary asphalt ramps. You know, so that even if they're just working on it for half a day or a couple hours, you never have a curb where you approach. There always will be a transition.
This is the Danish Parliament where I work, and one of our big victories in recent years was that we got about 10-15 parking lots shut down and turned into bike parking. Every morning you'll see parliamentarians, you'll see all the people working in the parliament coming with their bikes, placing them in front of the parliament. This is the most beautiful, wonderful bike city in the whole world.
Too much in the United States, there's this feeling of the other. You know, that somebody on the bicycle, that's not me, that's, you know, some different kind of creature. And here it's very clear, no, the person on the cycle, that's just me using a different mode of transportation.
Copenhagen has hit some point of transformation where bicycling is cheaper, easier, quicker, perhaps safer than any other mode of transportation. And so it's just what people do.
I think if we can succeed in making our streets back home safe and welcoming for moms, for parents bringing their children out, we will have succeeded.
The painted bike lane is great for the committed and enthusiast cyclist, but for the next big swath of the population, that isn't going to be enough.
We need to find a way to give bicycle riders a place that's comfortable and inviting and has a sense of safety. We don't have that yet. So we need to move on that, and we need to accompany it with promotion and education and explanations.
We could do this fairly easily and fairly inexpensively in just about any U.S. city, and the only thing that we would need to do is have the will and the political power to squeeze the cars a bit.
We like to say, to sort of put people at ease, that, oh, Copenhagen didn't do it overnight and they took 40 years to get where they are today. We don't have the luxury of waiting 40 years to get to that point in U.S. cities. We have to do it a lot more quickly.
To me, it is fantastic to be in a city where every morning when you wake up, you have the feeling that the city is a little bit better than it was yesterday. It's remarkable to have that feeling every morning for 40, 50 years. And that is the case here in Copenhagen.